Among China's hominins, Peking man holds special significance despite not being the earliest or most precisely dated. The discovery's importance stems from those skull fossils. To understand Peking man's skulls, we must follow two historical threads. The first involves 19th century biology. As modern science advanced alongside capitalism, conflicts between science and religion over human origins intensified. Religious authorities claimed God created the world in 4004 BCE at 9 a.m., meaning humans existed for mere millennia. Darwin's theory of evolution gradually gained scientific acceptance. German biologist Ernst Haeckel hypothesized an ape-human transitional form he called Pithecanthropus, ape-man. But this remained speculative without fossil proof to counter creationism. In 1891, Dutch anatomist Eugene Du Bois discovered a primitive human skullcap and femur in Java, Indonesia. The skull resembled an ape's while the femur appeared human, leading him to identify it as Haeckel's hypothesized transitional form, naming it Java man, Pithecanthropus erectus, with an estimated age of 500,000 years. His 1895 presentation at a European scientific conference drew fierce religious attacks and scientific skepticism. Mainstream science, influenced by tradition, couldn't accept such deep human antiquity, dismissing the find as pathological modern humans or large gibbons. The second thread begins in 1914 China. Amid domestic turmoil after crushing Sun Yat-sen's Second Revolution, President Yuan Shikai hired foreign advisors, including Swedish geologist Johan Gunnar Andersson, as mining consultant to the Ministry of Agriculture and Commerce. Anderson's interest in Chinese hominins led him to train local workers for fossil hunting. By 1918, he'd identified Zhoukoudian as promising. Starting in 1921, Anderson's team found ancient animal fossils at Zhoukoudian, lacking research facilities in China. These were sent to Sweden for analysis. In 1926, Swedish scientists identified two hominin teeth from the Zhoukoudian material. Announced by Anderson at Peking Union Medical College on October 22nd, Zhoukoudian became a paleoanthropology hotspot. Canadian anatomist Davidson Black, thrilled by this news, secured $24,000 from the Rockefeller Foundation for Zhoukoudian excavations through relentless fundraising, collaborating with China's Geological Survey and PUMC. An agreement stipulated all specimens belong to China. Human fossils remain at PUMC for study, but can't leave China. This partnership ushered in Zhoukoudian's golden age. From 1927, systematic excavations led by Swedish paleontologist Birger Bolin and Chinese geologist Li Jie progressed despite nearby fighting between warlords Yan Xishan and Zhang Zuolin. That year yielded another complete hominin tooth. Black excitedly proposed a new hominin species, Sinanthropus pekinensis, Peking Chinese man, dating it to 500,000 years ago based on the tooth. His bold claims drew academic ridicule when he toured Western institutions promoting this theory. Meanwhile, Zhoukoudian work faced disruptions as National Revolutionary Army forces clashed with Zhang's troops near Beijing. That year, Yang Zhongjin returned from Germany to join the team, along with recent Peking University graduate Pei Wenzhong. Pei's diligence impressed Bolin, who mentored him closely. As science advanced, Black established the Cenozoic Research Laboratory at PUMC. allowing fossil analysis in China without overseas shipment. However, Zucudian excavations hit a slump. By 1929, Rockefeller funding wavered after 2 years without major hominin finds. Key researchers departed as prospects dimmed. Black and Geological Survey Director Wang Wenhao assigned leadership to 25-year-old Pei. On paper, a promotion, but surviving letters suggest Pei felt overwhelmed. Excavations stalled against impenetrable rock layers, depressing Pei. Yet he persisted with local workers, eventually breaking through to uncover rich fossil deposits. In late November, with winter halting fieldwork imminent, Pei made one last attempt. On December 2nd, workers noticed a crevice leading to a new chamber. Pei rappelled down, discovering a flattened, thick-boned skull, clearly hominin. Despite darkness falling, he extracted the fossil that night. This first Peking man skullcap electrified global academia when announced, validating Java man as human ancestry and striking a blow against creationism. Yet skeptics remained. In 1930, Pei found burnt stones and ash layers at the site, later confirmed in Paris as ancient fire evidence, a key human behavioral marker. However, whether these resulted from human control or natural fires remained unclear. Later, distant river cobbles found in cave deposits were replicated experimentally as hominin tools, further proving Peking man's human status. Pei considered this tool discovery even more significant than the skull itself. In 1931, another young researcher, future prominent anthropologist Jia Lanpa, joined Zucudian after Black's 1934 death from heart disease. German anatomist Franz Weidenreich took over, eager to make his mark. When Pei left for France in 1935 to study paleoanthropology, Jia assumed leadership at age 25, history repeating itself. By 1936, tedious excavations under Weidenreich's strict management and dwindling funds seemed hopeless. Then on November 15th, workers spotted hominin bone fragments. Jia and 3 assistants uncovered another Peking man skull by afternoon, soon finding additional adult and juvenile skulls, 5 total by year's end. 1937 promised greater discoveries with renewed Rockefeller funding, until Japan's full-scale invasion forced work suspension 2 days after the July 7th Marco Polo Bridge incident. With Peking occupied but PUMC protected as USA property, Jia and colleagues reburied sorted fossils to prevent Japanese looting. Researchers continued limited work under Rockefeller salaries, but amid pervasive uncertainty. By 1941, worsening US-Japan relations prompted plans to safeguard the fossils. With war everywhere, options were limited. Transport to Chongqing risky, local concealment vulnerable, or temporary USA custody. The USA Embassy initially refused, citing 1,927 agreements designating fossils as Chinese state property requiring special authorization. After nationalist government mediation, the embassy approved transfer to the USA consulate for wartime safekeeping. Technician Hu Chungji carefully packed the fossils into 2 unmarked crates, likely the last Chinese to handle them, delivered to the USA Marine Headquarters. They were loaded onto a December train to Qinhuangdao for shipment on the SS President Harrison. Cenozoic Lab Secretary Mary Tillman recalled intact crates arriving at the docks. But on December 8th, Pearl Harbor's bombing triggered Pacific War hostilities. Japanese forces seized marine camps where the crates were stored. In 1942, Tokyo University's Hasebe Kitando claimed in the Peking Chronicle that Peking man fossils were stolen from PUMC, implying Japanese non-involvement. Subsequent intensive searches by Japanese military police interrogated all connected personnel, including 48-day detention and torture of Pei Wenjong. Oddly, all detainees were eventually released with encouragement to continue their work. Post-war repatriated artifacts notably excluded Peking man fossils. Post-war searches involved everyone from USA presidents to civilians, some seeking rewards, others genuinely concerned. The fossils never resurfaced. In 1966, Pei found matching skull fragments during renewed excavations, the only surviving Peking man cranial material. Later discoveries never matched the pre-war trove. Pei Wenjongyang Zhongjin and Jialanpa were buried at Longgu Hill per their wishes. China's paleoanthropology pioneers eternally guarding this 500,000-year-old homeland. Peking man was evolutionarily unremarkable, yet their fossils played an outsized role in human self-understanding. Without them, Java man's human status and Darwin's theories might have remained unproven, delaying science indefinitely. But as these ancestral witnesses re-emerged, humanity's darker impulses surfaced too: scientists, politicians, looters, and protectors all clashing over these relics. Ultimately, the fossils vanished mysteriously, as if realizing this unworthy world didn't deserve them. So why begin history with Paleolithic humans? Beyond tracing origins, it reminds us we're nature's equals, no species inherently superior. As evolved animals, we still struggle for survival, derived power and resources, humanity's animal nature. Moreover, our biological and psychological evolution lags far behind civilization's progress, explaining history's repetitive cycles. Thus Hegel's dictum, "The only lesson of history is that we learn nothing from history," makes sense. Viewing history through our hominin origins fosters empathy for past decisions while offering self-reflection. We remain, after all, mere members of the animal kingdom,